Hail and welcome to Skaldic Works. My name is Blake, and I am a musician who mainly focuses around the Nordic folk and folk music genre. And I have done music and I have done lessons pertaining to this instrument right here, which is called the Tagelharpa or Talharpa. Now, I have if you're a returning viewer, I welcome you back, and I am here to expand on a video that I have made previously in my lessons. And if you are new here, I wish that you go and check out that video first before coming back to this lesson. And I'll link that in the card, into the description, and in the cards above my head as well. Alright, the problem I had with this is that I went along with my tuning video earlier in the a couple of weeks ago. I've done a video on tunings and stuff. And I've been giving you tunings for a long time, based on what I was doing at the time, being in my lessons. But the problem was, I had a viewer message me on my social media platform, one of my social media platforms, that he had an issue with one of his strings breaking or going out, just coming undone. The problem with is that he has a 4-string Tagelharpa, and it's his melody string, which is the second from your away from you, which is your body, where your body is, where your hand is lying. So it's the one you play on, and it kept again breaking, or as he describes, coming undone. Well, this could be a number of factors, and again, this will expand onto this lesson here that I'm going to give you today. One of his he said that his instrument was 80 centimeters long by with a 60 centimeter string, and I kind of was talking to him back and forth about this, and I was trying to my best to help him out as much as possible. I'm not sure how much information I could give him at the time, but I did realize a few things that I could have given him as well. To take note, all Tagelharpa are not the same. They range from very much different shapes and sizes, as well as I have stated in the past. Different thicknesses of body width right here, different lengths from the soundboard. Sometimes the playing hole right here, I don't know, we will call that just a plain box playing hole. That will be sometimes longer, and you can get more notes out of it. Sometimes it's a little bit longer in length. It can range from anywhere from a soprano style, a soprano voice, all the way to a bass voice. A lot of times that's 3-string bass Tagelharpas I've seen, as well as cellos, which are a little bit kind of slightly smaller in the cello range. And they will all be tuned similarly but differently. Now, I want to be exact on this, because, or be a little bit more in detail, but the body length does not always. You have two things that's going for your Tagelharpa that makes a difference on the way the strings act. One is going to be your body length. Your second is going to be your scale length. So your body length will be from your the base of your body to the top of your body here, and then your scale length will technically be from either it depends on what your maker measures his scale length, but usually it's from the tailpiece to to the um, the peg here. Um, but it's the tension of the string so far, and it can be either that from there or it can be from your bridge accordingly. For instance, mine is 55.5 centimeters, which is about 21.6 inches in length, with a scale length of 40 centimeters, which is about 15.75 inches, if I'm correct on this. But again, scale length and body length does not. Sometimes body length does not affect scale length completely, depending on how long your tailpiece is, as well as how far from your tailpiece to the tailpiece little button here can be as well. So even if you have a small tailpiece like this, but it's a little bit longer, but this part right here is attached way down here, or you have the same size as all the way down here, if it's longer, and this is down here, then that could affect it as well, depending on, because it's different. There's different scale lengths and different size tail pieces, as well as different lengths of the body. And some people will like a really long body with a short tail piece and a short scale length, and some people have a really longer scale length than others. And this can, but this can really affect your tuning, and as well. The reason why it can affect your tuning is scale length can also affect your tension rate on your strings. And some tension, if the tension is too tight, the string can break or come undone from the peg box or the peg itself if you're not careful. One of the main issues that he was having is, again, he said it was 60 centimeters. I'm not sure how long his scale length was. I failed to ask him that exactly, but sometimes if it is too tight, if the tension is too tight, because it will again cause breakage. Another thing that causes slippage. Another slippage issue or reason why it slips or breaks is probably because you're not using a long enough string as well. For instance, my string can go probably about out to here from my pegs, which that's what you want to do, is you want to have at least a little bit more than from here to here to here, a little bit more from here to here, from your tail to your peg in string length, so it can have a nice wrap around like it does here. That's another thing that affects it. But going back to scale length, if it's a little bit longer, your scale length is a little bit longer, and you feel tension in there, it's best trying a different tuning altogether. Sometimes that doesn't mean giving up on that same note of tuning. It's just going. It's just a matter of going either an octave or two lower, so to speak. I'll explain this. So when I had mine in, I don't have mine in my other key just now. I just tuned it down to C, which is now C3, G3, and C4. But when I had D3, D3, A3, and D4, it may be a little too high for you, for your high string, and that D4 will be stretching or pushing your string a little too extra. Although horsehair is a very strong material as well as gut strings, sometimes it can cause slippage or breakage if the tension is too great. And just keep in mind, if you're having that issue, my remedy for that would be dropping it down probably in a full octave. Like, for instance, try D2, A2, and D3. Just simple as that. But sometimes, again, that scale length does not also reflect that every single tuning thereof will be dropped down an octave either. Like, for instance, if you have to drop it down an octave for your D tuning from D3, A3, and D4, you will not always have to do the same thing for, like, say, C tuning, which is, for me, is down. You still probably can get away with that. So you still could do C3, G3, and C4, but cannot go as high as D3, A3, and D4. If you know if you get what I'm talking about. That tension is variable, and my best advice to you on that is to play around with that. See where your instrument has limits, and see what its limits are. And if you know your instrument's limits, then you know which way you can go. So my best advice is, if you can't tune as high as the instrument in the video, or as my instrument in the video, or any other instrument in the video, go an octave lower. That's always a good, that's a good safe bet for you, because then you may be able to play along. May sound lower, may not sound as high and nice and high as the person playing, but you can still play along. Again, as I was saying, pay attention to your scale length. Pay attention to how much wrapping you have around your pegs, and they should do fine, because if you have too short of pegs, it's going to slip out. This is a common issue for all stringed instruments, violins, guitars, anything basically. That's like mandolins, ukuleles, anything that has tuning mechanisms or any strings that wind itself. They have to be wound over itself a couple number of times, at least 2 or 3 times. Recommend 3 or more, basically, to get a good solid grip on your boxes there. And again, not all bodies reflect the same scale length. So always measure your scale length first before going for your full body length. So your body length does not count, but scale length does, technically. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to how tight your strings are, and you should be fine. Again, that's all I have for this video, and I hope you get some good out of this. If you like this video, please give it a like, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I post as much as often as I can. I'm trying to. And also, if you want to leave a comment, leave it to me. I mostly try to answer all comments as much as possible. Keep it nice and clean, and that's all I ask about that. And also go to my I also post my other social medias below. I have a Facebook page as well as a Instagram. Not quite on TikTok yet. I don't think I can get behind that. We'll see later. But again, support my other social medias, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and skull.